Look, football's back. The Seahawks are in training camp. Everybody's talking about it up in Seattle because it is a very new look team this year in terms of personnel when you look around the facility. I mean, Heater, start us off. How are you feeling about this Seahawks team this year, and what are your impressions of camp so far?
I mean, it's always. I mean, the Seahawks since Pete's been there, man. It's always been about energy and competing.
Mm-hmm.
So I have no doubt that they're going to compete, no matter who's out there, new guy, old veteran, whatever. That's day one. When Pete came in, even when we were there, we were trying to figure it out. Nobody really had an identity. The team didn't really have an identity, and he instilled one thing in us, and he said, "Compete. Just go out there and compete everything." I mean, we were competing in warm-ups.
Oh, man.
I'm like, come on, man. I'm spent running over the bags. I'm like, man, that was a good day today. Can we take it in? It's like, no, we got practice. I'm like, all right.
To the warm-up.
I was like, we practiced the warm-up and we competed. No, it's just and so, man, I don't think the motto's changed over there at all. I think they're going to compete. They're going to compete hard. And the next guy that's behind the guy is going to step up. And I think they keep it rolling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, who's going to play quarterback for this team?
Lofa.
Lofa. I mean, we know Lofa did go both ways, right? In high school, do you play quarterback in high school?
Oh yeah, option in the boundary.
Option in the boundary. Man, I could throw that thing, and I could throw it to Lockett and Metcalf. Come on, but all reports, even though they said Locke probably had the better of the performance of the two in the mock game the other day. They're still saying Geno's going to start the first preseason game, which is this Saturday.
That's some breaking news on here.
Oh, is it? There you go.
I'm just trying to work out my sound machine, guys.
But so, and then we'll see. I probably anticipate they'll both, split the games. And then I wouldn't be surprised if they do let Locke, if he continues to progress like he's doing, having a better, more efficiency and not turning the ball over. I think really that's what's going to come down to winning this, because I don't really know what they're like as leaders, and I think that's the biggest thing is your QB's got to be a leader. And I mean, you hear them both saying the right things, but you don't know unless you're in those huddles. And
Sure.
So we'll see how it shakes out. But I'm excited to see them, just 2 days away, man. I can't wait.
Well, for anyone who's interested in a mock game, they had a mock game at the stadium, and apparently Drew Lock was like 10 of 10 for 129 and 2 touchdowns in his drive and looked really well. But like Lofa said, they are giving Geno the start on Saturday against the Steelers. So, I mean, Heater, you think it's open, right? This competition's open. Don't you think Pete's just waiting to see how they play in the preseason? Do you think Geno is going to be the starter week 1 no matter what?
I think it's still up in the air. To be honest with you, you just listening to the reports and just kind of seeing and just knowing how Pete operates. He wants to compete to the very last second. He wants to get as much evaluation on these guys, as he can before he kind of makes that decision. He hasn't had to make that decision in a long time. He's been very fortunate to have Wilson, a great quarterback. And so I think this is new to him. So he wants to make sure he does his due diligence on who he puts under the center. And like Lofa said, he will have to be a leader in the locker room because right now there's a lot of change, that went on with the organization. And so they're going to need somebody to follow. And that guy will have to come from the quarterback position.
Well, I mean, speaking of Russell Wilson, that's our sound for having to move on topics, Lofa. If you hear that, that's producer Katie telling us we have to move on. But wait, I was in the middle of a question. Okay. So, because you brought up Wilson, I mean, we've Lofa and I have talked about it on here before, but I got to get your thoughts on what this team's going to look like without Russ. What do you think?
I think a lot of people are going to have to step up because the ad-lib and the athletic ability and the playmaking and the leadership and the experience and you're losing a lot, So there's going to have to be a lot of guys that are going to have to step up that you might not know of right now, that might not have been leaders because they had a leader in front of them. And in order for them to be successful, they're going to have those big guys step up in big moments.